Hello and welcome to this Dittmer Knittery Making It video. So you can see what I'm making. I am coming to you this evening from the depths of the doll making rabbit hole. I have fallen down, far down the rabbit hole, and this is the second doll I'm making. I showed you my first doll, Marigold, in my most recent video, and in fact I had a little video of her that I forgot to include, so I'll put it at the end of this video. But you definitely should go back and watch my video from this weekend. I can't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday that I introduced the first doll that I've made. So I said in that video that I would like to make another doll with the intention of felting it. So that's the idea with this one, is that it will be hot water felted. So this one is made from medium 4-weight yarn, and I've moved up to size 4.25 millimeter US 6 needles, whereas with Marigold I did with US 3, which is 3.25 millimeters. So the larger yarn, the larger needles make it easier on my hands. And then I would like to felt this doll when I finished it. And in this video, I also wanted to talk about something that I mentioned in the other video, and that is creating something like this that depicts a person. It's a doll. I already feel emotionally invested. I mean, I'm very emotionally invested in Marigold. And yes, I understand it's not a real person. There's no reason for me to get, I don't think there's a reason for me to get counseling about this. But these things are very dear to me. And at this point, to be quite honest, if I think about it too hard, I could be just a little bit horrified that it doesn't have a head yet. And that's part of why I make the progress that I do, why I try to work so quickly, is to get to the point, you know, that it has a head and becomes more real, because this is just kind of shocking. This is the first hand and arm, and then I will make the other hand and arm, and then attach those, and then the neck, and then the head. Now, I also said in my previous video that I did rely very heavily on instructions from an Arnon Carlos book, Knitted Dolls. And so I don't want to give away the construction because it's quite clever. And that's one of the reasons I chose to do it this way, is that it is made in one piece. You do have to attach these things, but you just knit them on when you get to that point. There's no sewing together of anything, and I think the only thing that you sew is this seam between the legs. You have to sew that. But other than that, there's no sewing on this doll. And then after I hot water felt it, which I'm concerned about putting a doll in hot water, so of course I won't be using boiling water. After it's felted, then I would be able to use needle felting to apply features. And while I still don't have a lot of hope of making the features realistic, they would be more realistic than what I created before. I sometimes don't know how much wool to stuff in there. This time I'm using this blue colored wool rather than white wool. And I have a whole bunch of this kind of batting wool, a lot, like drawers full, that someone gave me. I've been a recipient of great generosity in my art life. So rather than white, there's this colored wool in there. And again, if my stitches are less than perfect, the stuffing may show, but it's not going to show white. And I think it won't look like the stuffing is showing. But I just wanted to spend a few minutes with you today and talk about my doll making. Now, some of you may be experienced in this area, and I know there are many experienced doll makers in the world and in our community. And this is very new to me. Making a doll is new to me. Dolls, of course, are not new to me. I've always enjoyed dolls. But I wanted to spend a few minutes with you today, share this progress, share my strange thoughts about dolls and doll making, and see what you think. And I appreciate all of you being here today, and I will see you again soon. So I won't be using this particular set of double-pointed needles to be making any dolls or anything in the future. Yes, Maybelline did that. And I have to say, I will take the blame because I generally do not leave these things where she can get to them. That's why she doesn't get into them, because I put them where they belong. But I was making that video and I left this sitting out and I stepped away to heat up my dinner, and I thought she was eating her dinner, but this is what I heard her chewing on.